Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and let's try to get some wins. So we're going to use the Gastrodon paired with the Drapion and the Mandibuzz in the back. They switch into their Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, we can just match them, but because we match them, we are going to be at a energy disadvantage. Looks like we are just firing up aerial aces for now. We're both running the same fast move and charge move so far. We can assume they're running Dark Pulse, but we don't know what their secondary move is, but it doesn't really matter because they're not going to use it for this matchup. This is going to be interesting to see what they end up doing, because if they get too low, do we ever decide to switch out? Let's find out. They're going to be able to get to this Aerial Ace here, and it doesn't barely take us out. We fire off this Aerial Ace, and it looks like they do switch out into the Moltres. So Moltres lurking in the back. They had a double flyer team. Still have to use my Drapion because the Gastro doesn't really want to see this thing. We do tank the Ancient Power. Let's see if they shield here. They do decide to shield, so we have the shield advantage. We shield here so that we could potentially get to another move. Let's see if they switch out. They do switch back out into their Mandibuzz, and we are basically... Okay, they revealed Dark Pulse now. We basically have to get rid of this Mandibuzz now. There goes the Mandibuzz. Let's see if we're going to be able to fire off this Body Slam. All right, we get this Body Slam to go up on this Moltres. They decide to shield. We do switch out immediately into our Drapion, and we do take out this Moltres. Luckily, we are going to be able to reach another Aqua Tail. We get it in range of Earth Power, and now it comes down to, do we shield here or let this go? We decide to shield. Ends up being the Sludge Bomb. We're racing to a move. Oh, unfortunately, we get the timeout, and they are going to be able to take us out with the Sludge Bomb. So, unfortunate that we ran into a Mandibuzz safe switch. Like, literally, if they switched into anything else, we probably have a better chance to win that game there. All right, they switch out into the Primeape, and the Primeape faces our Mandibuzz. The Mandibuzz has some decent moves. We tank the close combat, so now this Aerial Ace is likely going to get a shield. There's a shield. We decide to go for the overfarm. They decide to throw the move on timing, but we are going to be able to shield that. We fire off another Aerial Ace, and it looks like... Okay, we do get to another Aerial Ace, so this is going to come close and taking it out, I think. Yeah. So down goes the Primeape, and now we see B-Barrel. They switch out into the Driploom. So Driploom here is going to be pretty solid against our Gastro here. We go for the Earth Power, trying to get the deep up, but we do not proc it. Here comes the Icy Wind, and we do reach another Earth Power at least. This is resisted, but because of Stab, it's going to do a little bit more damage than the Body Slam. And at this point, they have a good amount of energy. We're going to go into the Mandibuzz. Then they switch out into their B-Barrel. We have a shield, but also our Drapion has a good amount of energy. We're looking for a debuff at this point. Can we get the debuff from this Crunch? Yes. And now we have to survive this. Can we survive this Surf? The answer is yes, and now we're just looking for the Farnow. We have a move on our Drapion. We go immediately into our Crunch, and we take out the Driploom. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, luckily, because of the energy advantage we had against that B-Barrel. So far, the team is kind of like all over the place. We have great situations, but then we have not so great situations as well. So we're still figuring it out. We see an okay lead. We switch out into the Drapion. The Drapion does... go for this Crunch towards this Clogsire. Looks like the Clogsire is their best answer to this Drapion, which is interesting. We have such a big energy advantage. We're going to be able to get to a third charge move, and we do grab the shield, so we'll take that all day. Let's see if they are going to throw a move. Okay, they do get to another move, unfortunately. We decide to tank it, and then we go into the Mandibuzz immediately because this Feraligatr has a move. You do tank the Hydro, and I'm just going to overfarm continuously here. We do shield. We're going to finally throw a move. This move right here is going to potentially get them low enough, possibly. Let's see what happens. If we get lucky, we can... Okay, we do catch a move onto the Gastro. Hydro Cannon is used. Okay, and we see the Primeape in the back. This Primeape here is going to be tricky. We need to get to several moves. Here goes the Aerial Ace, takes it out, and now we're going to go for... Oh, unfortunately, we do not get the farm down. Our opponent does get to the Hydro, but luckily we survive it because it's only a Hydro Cannon, and this Aerial Ace there will take out the Feraligatr. So GG's to our opponent, luckily able to survive that right there and win the game. These matches here, pretty tanky Pokemon. So like it's drawing out the clock, and we're getting fairly close to like timeouts on several of the matches. Pidgeot is very interesting. We are not going to have a great lead. We're going to switch out into the Drapion, then we get met with a Dunsparce. So far, they're going to be able to maintain alignment and not really invest shields at all, really. Let's see if we're going to be able to wiggle out of this situation again. Our opponent does get our Gastro to come back in. We're going to be able to fire off our Mandibuzz versus their Pidgeot. This Pidgeot is going to be interesting because they have a good amount of energy. They decide to go for the Feather Dance though, so Feather Dance doesn't quite do that much. We go for the Aero Ace, take it out finally. We see the Dunsparce come back in. We have 2 shields. We're going to invest one of the shields here. Let's see if we can get this Dunsparce out of here. Okay, and now we see a Medicham. Haven't seen this in a while. This is going to be interesting because depending on what moveset they're running right here, it's going to determine the game. They decide to go for the Ice Punch. Barely doesn't take us out. We go for another Aerial Ace. So this is going to chip away at it. They're saving that shield. We're going to fire off this Body Slam that we had banked. They decide to just let it go. And now we just shield here no matter what. Ends up being another Ice Punch. So they probably were running Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, or Psychic. And we are able to farm it down. So able to win that game luckily because of the bulk of the Gastrodon, to be honest. But also lucky that the Ice Punch that the Medicham threw did not take out our Mandibuzz. Alright, next game here. Let's see if we can figure this out here. Great lead. They go into their Primeape. We're going to have our Mandibuzz for them. Let's see if they're going to invest any shields or letting this go. Okay, Aerial Ace does get used. Now we have to think about how do we take out this Stunfisk. We basically just got to sack the Mandibuzz, right? Unless they undercharge here. Let's see what they do. Nope, they definitely take us out. We have the Drapion onto the Jump Up now. This is not an acrobatic, so we can tank the Aero Ace first. We're going to farm up, fire off this Crunch. Let's see if we grab a shield. No shield, no debuff. They're going to be able to get to another Aero Ace. There's the Aero Ace, and now we're going to overfarm, and then we're going to fire off this Aqua Tail Bait. Let's see if we grab a shield. Okay, we do. We're going to keep on farming. Our opponent here does throw a move. Aero Ace is thrown. We're going to be able to get to another move, go for another Aqua Tail, and we do catch the Aero Ace, so we know this is not Energy Bomb. And at this point, we just gotta make sure we throw this Body Slam on good timing. They decide to stay in, but we're gonna be able to take it out easily. Here comes the Stunfisk. The Stunfisk is gonna struggle against this Gastro. Mud Bomb does a decent amount, but it allows us to get to the Earth Power, and this is definitely gonna take it out from this range. And down goes the Stunfisk. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.